Good morning. Welcome to our Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, Episode 19, Girls Trippin' Live Review. I am Mrs. Best. We are here much earlier than we are usually here. I generally do these recaps between 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 7 to 10 p.m. on the East Coast. But I have a lot to do. I have a wrestling event. I have stuff with school. There's a lot. And then James has things also. But let's welcome in James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, please.
Please do. Please do. And also see the links in the description of this video. There are links to not just James's channel, but a variety of African-American content creators. I support everybody Black. I love that for us. Create a space if you have a space for others, even if it's small. So that is what I am doing. But y'all, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, half of these heifers are tripping. They got the episode title right. Half of these heifers is truly tripping. I can't understand why they're so disingenuous. Also, word on the curb is MTV. As you guys know, VH1 has been going through a lot. The network's going under. I believe it's coming back as like a classic music network or something like that, allegedly. The same thing is supposed to happen with MTV, I believe by 2027 or something like that. Jersey Shore, they've announced their cancellation. The cast has announced they want to keep it going on another network, whatever. I don't watch those colorless people anymore. But Ridiculousness has come to an end. There are no new episodes of that. Pretty much the only thing left on the network that is airing that is new is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and the Teen Mom saga and series. They also announced recently, earlier this week, that MTV's The Challenge will be moved off of the network and onto their app, Paramount Plus. So it looks like they're preparing to move all of these shows off air. So I just wanted to let everybody know who watches Love and Hip Hop. If you need any updates on that, we will provide them on my channel and James's channel when we discuss the things that we go over. But let's get into the episode. That was a mouthful. MTV and them, they just changing all my shows. I lost Basketball Wives, The Challenge moving, Love and Hip Hop. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Miami ain't come back. What you doing, Viacom? What are we doing? Because at first I thought it was just they Black shows, but I said, oh no, everything's a mess or canceled. But okay, we'll see. But this episode starts with Rennie and Salma Slim. And Shani, I'm going to get to your comments in a second. I love it because I can list her comments based on what we discuss. Thank you for being here, Shani. I appreciate the support. But Salma Slim and Rennie are on this cold-ass beach trying to work out. It looked like this was not the time to go to the vineyard. What do you think, James?
It definitely looked like the time not to go to the vineyard. But you know what? When the weather changes, so do the prices. So you can go and get yourself a nice Airbnb 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom for 30% off the discounted price when you come out of season.
They have us twisted. The vineyard was cold as hell. It looked like it's somewhere that they should not have been. Shani is trying to watch this episode while we are live because I'm live earlier. That's why we mess with you the long way, Shani. She's also one of our moderators. I appreciate you. She said, dang it, I got nowhere in this episode. I'm trying to watch it and work at the same time. It's not easy. No worries, Shani. Don't overdo yourself. You can always catch the replay. You know, I be commenting even when we're not live. Please prioritize your job if needed. But,
yes, because, we need to make sure that check come in, Shani. It's getting tough out here. And some people, some of us need 3 and 4 checks.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Shout out to California, New York, New Jersey, Hawaii, Washington State, Colorado, and probably more that are getting expensive as time moves. But the yoga instructor had me hollering. The yoga instructor was the best thing that I could have ever seen. Shani said, I'm cracking up over this yoga instructor. Ever watched that Friends episode where Ross was trying to get the couch up the stairs and he kept
yeah.
It's the instructor's voice. That instructor was hilarious because you're on Martha's Vineyard. So I'm expecting like a colorless or like a Black person is very adjacent to colorlessness. to be on the namaste. I want you to look out at the ocean, take in the waves, and extend into a proud warrior. I do yoga, y'all. I like yoga. It's actually helping me lose a lot of weight. Love yoga. But the instructor was funny as hell. He was funny as hell. I don't know where they found him, but I want to keep him like a pet. If he was my yoga instructor, I swear to God, I would do yoga every single day. But they get to talking after their little yoga session and they discuss religion. So for those who may have missed it, Salma Slim introduced herself as someone that comes from African culture, I believe raised in Atlanta, and she also grew up Muslim and in Islam. It sounds like that was something she shared in common with her husband, 24 hours, because Rennie asked about their religion. Rennie was in their business. And I'm not going to lie.
I wasn't mad at it.
I wasn't mad at it, but at the same time, Rennie will have a habit of being cool and then going and talking about stuff that people confide in with other people. And she does it in a way that's sneaky to me because I feel like she's trying to be messy or stir the pot without being seen stirring the pot and being messy. And I just feel like if people confide in you, even if you know they lying and on some BS like Selma, you want them, like, I wouldn't go and just expose it, whether I'm cool with them, close with them or not. But Selma pretty much admits that 24 is a little bit controlling. Rennie did give her good advice. She's like, I know you're used to that controlling aspect, but you still have to make time for yourself or you're not going to feel satisfied, and that's true. Islam does focus a lot on, for women, for being there for the husband, being a good wife, being a good mom, avoiding haram, teaching your kids to avoid it. But I grew up in Islam, y'all. Most of my life, I had to wear a hijab to school. So I don't know. That was for me a difficult point of that religion. You're literally taught like your husband pretty much runs things. And then Salma having African roots as well. That's another culture that's very male forward. So, they're going to encourage her to do for the man, but that sometimes the women get forgotten. It's not saying women are not valued, but we're more so valued based on what we can do, like make kids or please a man versus the other great things that women can do, because we are the greatest. I'm just saying. Happy belated International Women's Day. We are great. But yeah, Rennie encourages Selma to focus on herself. And I'm just going to hope that Rennie don't gossip about the conversation. But shout out to Rennie Rucci for working for your check, baby, because nobody was asking Selma questions in the way that would get her to answer. And I get that this cast is on a reality show, but if I want James to tell me, I don't know, the last four of his social security number, I'm just thinking something off the rip because I just had to pay my car note and they always ask me that when I call. But if I want James to give me the last four of his social security number or admit that he cheated on his spouse, right? I'm not going to ask him in front of a big group of people on camera, like, because you be lying. Something ain't right, James. You need to let me know what's really going on. Like, no. Sometimes you got to take people aside and get the right circumstance and environment and then ask them a question. That is why Rennie got so many answers. And I like the change of Rennie Rucci because she came on this show mad, wanting to fight and making bad decisions with men. And now she seems to be more focused on just having peace and keeping a check. But how you felt about these heifers?
This is a cross between two statements that I'm going to make. One, you could tell Selma isn't smart because ain't no way in hell I would trust Rennie. I don't care if we're doing yoga, getting coffee. I wouldn't trust her with my business, as I saw her loyalty really is with someone who I ain't messing with. So therefore, I wasn't going to do that. But, Selma's not that smart. So it was kind of like you see the wheels turning. Also, I thought the whole yoga, the atmosphere, even though it was cold, everything about it was cool. Like I did love the scene. I thought, hey, they may actually have something here. Not good enough to keep on the network, but they may have something.
That's true. That's actually very true. They may have something. Very little, but they got something.
They got something.
Y'all, the next thing we're going to talk about is Mama D. Mama D is turning 62 years old. I see Shani said Mama D is only 52. I do watch TV with subtitles because I'd be missing stuff for multitasking. I did see that they put in the subtitle 62. If Mama D was 52 looking the way she looked, I'd be like, what the hell happened?
Well, if Mama D was 52, that means she would only have Scrappy at 12.
Oh yeah, that
So
too. That
yeah,
too.
we,
That's
we
probably
not
a big part of it.
yeah, we not gonna
Lord. But no, Mama
we don't need to
D,
add nothing else to that family.
she is having her 62nd birthday party. It's big to her. She says this every year though. Every year she says this about her birthday, but this year is big to her and important because she's gonna have surgery. And she has Scrappy and his girlfriend. I believe her name is Brittany or Ashley, something generic. And she Mama D is talking to her and she's like, I want y'all to come to my party. I invited everybody. Now Mama D is now at peace instead of at war with Scrappy's baby mamas, the way that he would like it. Because Mama D has learned from Erica and E-Money, as the family like to call her name. By the way, y'all spelled Imani wrong. Imani is a Swahili African word. It does mean faith. It's also the seventh principle of Kwanzaa, and it is not spelled with an E, you ignorant niggas. It is spelled I-M-A-N-I. That is the correct spelling. Can y'all please stop giving your kids names that you think are rooted in African culture and then spelling them wrong? Just name them Tyresha or something if that's the case, please. I'm going to digress though.
Not Tyresha.
I'm just saying. Can we get it together, y'all? Can we figure it out?
That fool said Tyresha.
I'm just saying. Can we do it better? Because the way Scrappy and Erica used to say her name in earlier seasons, Erica, when she was trying to get that child support, I just want you because E-Money needs you. And Scrappy, I'm always worried about E-Money. I'm like, y'all can't even say the girl name. Lord, they put that E hard. Anywho, but Mama D gonna have everybody at this party because she good with everybody. And she's like, listen, I want my son there. And Scrappy says he can't come because of wrestling. I want everybody to pay attention to this. Scrappy says he cannot come because he has to take his son, one of the sons he has with Bambi, to a wrestling event. And at first I was like, oh, you got to take the baby to an event. Good for you, Scrappy. But then I thought to myself, I said, Self, he's been on TV for 13 seasons. Scrappy has been on TV since I was a B cup and titties, and I'm a double D now. And we've never seen him take any of his kids to an event, especially one that lasts for longer than an hour. So why would he? And then the girl, Brittany, she don't have to go. They're not married. They're not engaged. And she got her own kids whose birthdays it is. But I was like, interesting that you don't want to come to your mama birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Very interesting. Shetty said my son's name is Tariq. I actually love that name. I just do. I do think of Ghost Son and Power, but I do love that.
I went back even further because I was just watching Sister, and it was the episode.
Oh, Tyreek.
And they kept saying, Scotty, Tyreek, Scotty. Oh, Tyreek, Scott, duh.
I love it. I love it. Oh, my Lantis. I love it. I love it. I love it. Shetty said, yes, no, I can watch later, but I like to watch it live so I can interact. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. Oh, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Be up in here. Be up in here. She also said, I've done yoga before, but if that instructor was there, I'd do it and be cracking up. Right. Be discovering you more flexible than you knew you could be just because you laughing your way into a split. Maybe there's a method. Maybe there's a method. I didn't know Salma was part of the nation. Yes. Yes. She had said that earlier on. I'm not sure if she's part of the Nation of Islam. It sounds like they're just practicing Islam. Because I know that the two are different. For first grade, my son went to a Muslim school up in Harlem. I have a cousin that did the same in New York, in Harlem. So that's, I wonder if they could have went to the same school. How old is your son? That would be a small world. I have lots of family in Harlem and the Bronx for whatever reason. They say something about they like getting money out there and the people are cool. So shout out to New York. When I was little, my mother made me say my prayers at night in English and Arabic. And I still have their Quran, but she wasn't Muslim. What? But she wasn't Muslim. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
I mean,
that's different. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. She said the F feels better, child. Lord help us. But The ladies are Scrappy's birthday. I didn't get your opinion on that. Did you want to add anything to the
No,
announcement
we
party?
can move on from the party.
We
Happy
need to
birthday,
go.
Mama D.
Yeah, right. Mama D, every year your birthday party be some foolery too. I can't. Now, everybody back in Martha's Vineyard, they're all gonna go on a boat. And this man bored them to pieces. The man on the boat, they thinking they just eating clams, getting fresh seafood. And this man is like, yeah, and in 1978 and in 1492 and all this other crazy stuff. And I'm like, oh gosh. So they're getting bored by the facts. I don't like oysters, so did not enjoy seeing them eat that. But for whatever reason, after they get off of the boat, or while they're on the boat, I can't remember which, but Yandy starts talking with the group and they bring up Mendices because Sierra was found to have exposed Mendices all over the blogs, tabloids, internet, all of that crazy stuff. And Sierra, you need to be careful because the type of men you choose, you shouldn't be exposing anybody. You should be sitting quiet and hoping that you don't have a man that's about to get exposed. That's what you should do.
I concur.
Just saying. And listen to your tattoo artist when they tell you that a tattoo may take multiple sessions. That's all. That's all, Sierra. But Yandy is aggressive with everybody. And she's like, okay, but how'd you feel about it, Spice? How'd you feel about it, Spice? And then Carly chimes in, well, how you felt about it. Okay, and how you felt about it. Okay, well, you're not answering my question. How you feel about it? What's up? They answer the question, and Yandy's like, so how all y'all felt is how I felt. I'm like, bitch, you could have just said how you felt.
Right. It's like we didn't have to go all the way over
What
here.
was all
Like,
of that? Yeah, and I like Yandy, but sit your ass down.
Y'all know I have a love-hate with Yandy. There's times I love her, there's times I can't stand her, there's times I'd be like, Yandy, you just so full of shit. I can't take it sometimes. So this is one of the times where I can't take Yandy. I just couldn't.
It was like, what?
We're all confused on why this is happening right now.
I don't care what James is doing. Talk to me like that. That's not nice. Like,
first of all, we have way more history than Yandy and the rest of these cats. Like, I would never do that. If I didn't do it the first year, I'm not going to do it on the 25th year. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Like to use though history as a reason you could talk to your friends any kind of way. And I regret to inform you all that with friends, family, and everything in between, unless it's your mama, your daddy, or your grandmama, nobody should be talking to people the way that Yandy spoke to them. Like,
no, and I agree. That's why I said how I spoke to you on year 1 is how I'm going to speak to you on year 25, and so on and so forth. I set my intention very early in the friendships. All of my friendships, I set the intention early of how I'm going to treat you going on beyond. Because for me, yes.
Child, that don't make no type of sense. The Israelite on 125th. I love it. Oh, wow. He is a year younger. Oh, he's 2 years younger than me. He really might.
I thought your son was younger than that, Shanny. Oh, wow.
Did you? I thought he was somewhere between like at the
I thought he was like 21, 22. What am I thinking of then?
Well, shout out to Sandy's son. He don't know it. He's like, that's our cousin. God damn it.
Right.
That's my nephew. Kind of, sort of, not really. We the same age.
Listen, we Aunt Nikki's now because you know that's how Aunt Nikki is with Jermisha. If she but a few years older,
we might be. Hell, she's my twin. Shanny really be having the same thoughts as me. I'm saying that's my nephew. That's my nephew, thug cousin. That's what I'm calling him. Shout out to Shanny's son, y'all. We gonna show him love. We just do that. And shout out to anybody else's spouses who be having to listen to me because they listen and watching the live. Shout out to y'all. Y'all matter too. Thank you. But Lord help us. Where the hell was I? I'd have lost my whole place. But Yandy did too much. How'd you feel about that? They made peace and she did apologize at the end of it. But it's like,
it felt like a stunt in the show. If I'm being honest, it felt like, you remember when Yandy had to fight, was trying to fight them baby mamas? It was Samantha, Erica at the reunion. It gave that, you know how Yandy leaned over and grabbed somebody's arm just to make it look like she's going to fight somebody. That's what that reminded me of, was that scene right there. I said, Yandy, why is you doing all of this knowing damn well if the shit really was to come your way, you was not finna fight?
And I know Yandy gonna blame it on where she's from because we have seen her do this before. I can't help it. I'm from New York. Y'all remember when she first came to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? And anytime she had a problem with somebody, she made it seem like, oh, well, I'm from New York. We just a little more direct. No, Yandy, direct or not, you did too much, girl.
You are, and that was funny because I remember that scene specifically when she said that, and it when Chrissy was pressing her, Yandy was mute mouthed and didn't say nothing. I thought y'all was more direct, Yandy. You was going around in circles in that conversation when Chrissy was pressing you.
Circles.
And I loved how Chrissy did it too, because Chrissy did it very direct. Now, Chrissy is direct. If anybody else on Love and Hip Hop is not direct, Chrissy Lampkin is direct as hell.
So like direct that she got down on her knees and proposed to a man.
Yeah, I ain't finna do all that.
After 7 years, I said, baby, I'm not gonna propose to him after 7 years. I'd be cussing him out. Why did you make me wait so long?
No, I would be gone after leave. Listen, let me tell y'all. Y'all know I move quickly. I do. I admit it. But the thing about me is, you can't move slow with me either. If you ain't proposed to me in 3 years, you ain't getting a year 4.
Out. Why waste the time?
Why waste my time? And I am in my late 30s this year. No, it's not gonna happen. I ain't got time to waste.
James's birthday is next month. Yes. I will make sure that all of the YouTube streets know. I've got reminders with Siri in my phone. I got reminders in my Canva for schedule posts. We are prepared. I'll make sure everybody knows. Yes. Yes. Oh, Lord help me. Let me see. I missed some comments. She's talking about Sierra's husband and what caused Andy to go off. Yeah, because that Onyx reject looked like he got things in his pocket, and I'm not talking about a pow. He may have that also, though. You know what, Shitty. You are right, though. He may. He does give me the energy of like, he's only acting right now because he married up. But if he did not marry up, he would be that guy who's getting money with no job. It just gives that. That's what Zay gives. I'm sorry. Shetty says, James, I feel the same way about her, too. Sometimes I like her. Sometimes I can't stand her. Sometimes I'm like, shut the F up.
I'm trying to tell you, and it shouldn't be like that. In retrospect, we should love Yandy because Yandy was the reason why Love and Hip Hop exists. So we should always have a mutual respect. It's so funny how the people who create these shows are Shawnee O'Neal's of the worlds, are Yandy, are Mona Scott Young's. Why do we feel this way about them? Because I equally feel the same about each one of them. I can love and respect their, and I'm gonna throw Carlos in there too because I love Carlos too. I'm gonna respect what you do. But your personnel is something that will either work my nerves or I can turn, some sense of a blind eye to you. And I shouldn't have to be like that. That you should, no human being should ever make you really crisscross the tap holes where you're literally at the end. You should always be level with people and everybody. So if someone is either here or here, they should not have a place for you at all.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
that is the truth. Shani said, I had my son when I was 20. That's a good age. Your body can bounce back. I kind of wish I would have had a kid when younger. Now that I'm getting older, I'm like, I kind of wish I would have had kids younger, but it wouldn't have worked out well. We would have been the Ike and Tina or something crazy. I don't know who did drugs, Rick James, and the way me and Mr. Best used to be in the club. No. We didn't need no babies. And we still be trying to party like we in our 20s. We be tired as hell, falling asleep, having a great time.
Okay.
Shetty said her son's in the kitchen making a sandwich right now. Not you making a sandwich. He can hear y'all just giving the peace sign. Hello to him. Right back at you, my brother. Let me see here. She was so scared of Chrissy. Did y'all see what Chrissy did to Kimbella? She whooped her ass and got her on the ground. And then looked at her and was like, this bitch really just made me mad. I'm not done. And gave her that good stomp. I never let that go. Because that was like the last good ass whooping we got to see on Love and Hip Hop.
When they started getting security.
Like, security was so confused. Security was so confused.
They really didn't have security. They had Mona's ass with her wig up there trying to break up the fight. Then Stephanie was up there hollering and screaming, and we're like, Stephanie, you ain't got to do all of that.
Why are you yelling?
Why is you hollering like this? That was the
funniest thing to me, though, because Kimbella was trying Chrissy. And in real life, I remember they used to send me to kick it with cousins and stuff on the East Coast. I tell y'all this, I ain't never fought so much as when I was in New York. Okay? I got hair on my chest from New York. I said, what's wrong with these people? Every little thing, I say, oh Lord, but I'm appreciative of it. So Chrissy, she did her big one. She did stomp her ass out. He acted like he's still on parole. Don't want to mess that up. Damn. Sometimes Carlos King's voice gets on my nerve. It's because it's loud and it's high pitched.
You know what's funny? Someone has sent me a DM. I want to blast you. I really do, for asking me this question. Because it was like, I didn't respond to you, but he watches through your channel, whoever this person is. He had asked me, would I ever date Carlos King? And I said in my mind, like, why would someone ask me that? Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all?
I think because he's gay and big and hasn't really shown anybody that he's with.
It was like, it was such a random it was a question I actually had to think about, because I was like, damn, I want to answer your question.
No,
but,
I don't think you should. Carlos King, he got a man, but he can't show his man to us because he at home with his wife right now. So that's what Carlos King gives, allegedly. It is my opinion.
If I actually think about it, yes, I actually would.
He's a handsome man.
I actually would, because I don't think he really is this, like, I feel like in private, he actually is a really sweet, really gentle, really good guy. And I really feel like
everybody.
Yeah. And I pay attention to him. So I actually would date Carlos. I would. I wouldn't say, here's the thing, I wouldn't say no. I probably would give him one date and weigh the pros and cons then. Like, I would at least give him a chance. I would.
James is nice though. I like how you date in terms of being what they say, fair. You're equal opportunity. You give whoever a shot.
Whoever's
so
interested in
anybody for James, just DM Mrs. Best. I can arrange it. I can do I can do so
DM much. Mrs. Best next time. Don't DM me. DM her, please.
Let me screen them. Let me screen them.
I can't because I'm gonna say yes. Like, I'm not, unless you really just not my type off the wall, like, unless I really don't see it for you, I'm probably gonna say no. But if you are aesthetically my type, I'll say yes and then weigh out the pros and cons later.
I love it. I love it. Y'all heard them. Don't be afraid. She said she tried to stomp Kimbella out. She showed it.
Funny. That shit was.
I remember watching that with my mama. We said, "Wow,"
because you didn't expect it. Chrissy said, "I gotta go to the bathroom." Looked at her, said, "She was like this."
Yep, it was wonderful in a dress.
In a dress
with all her real hair. She said, "Pull it if you want to, bitch. It's mine, but it's not coming out. We on the ground tussling." I was here for it, but Joelle Santana, you ain't right. That lady ain't been right since. But I digress. Shout out to Kimbella because you did help Love and Hip Hop.
Yes, Kimbella, you did. We have to give you your flowers. Yeah. You took a punch for everybody to keep the ratings on the show. Like, that show literally
she took more than a punch. She took a punch, a foot to the face, a foot to the side. Some hair pulling, a track came out. Mona's wig almost came off. I mean, she did a lot. Iconic. Mona, change that wig. But I'm gonna digress. Mona is kind of doing the same thing that Carlos is doing, though. She started on TV, don't have too much TV-wise anymore, but she's now not podcasting, but in music, managing Escape and some other big people. So I said, oh, Lord, and showed us all our business because remember, she didn't have no draws on.
Ladies, stop doing that because y'all doing that even more today than y'all did that back then. Y'all draws were made for the purpose.
Okay, I'm going to defend some of our girls because there are some outfits I have worn where I could not wear underwear. And it's because if I would have worn underwear, it would have messed up the outfit. But you can still put something, like I always buy these little
something on your ass, like that's just saying.
Something on your bottom, yes.
Yeah, there's something. There's something there.
I can't just have bare coochie.
Yeah, not in no dressing, and they do that out here all the time.
It's hot as hell. I can't even fault them for that. But don't be having your sweaty snatch going from place to place. But y'all, let me get back on this episode. So next thing we see is Sierra. She's having an event. Talk about, I haven't done this in a good amount of time. And I was going through my depression. So I'm like, I never met somebody who talks without periods and commas until there was Sierra. She's funny. Something is wrong with this girl, but I love Sierra for being Sierra. So I will give her that. Shani said, I'm covering my coochie. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's where you wear some draws. I'm telling you, y'all go to Victoria's Secret. Every time you buy something, they give you a free pair of draws.
Or at least the thong. There's always something you can put over. Which is true. What's poppin', Shayna? Good morning.
Shayna.
Good morning and welcome in. I'm not usually here early, so I appreciate people even stopping in. I'm surprised anybody here because I should not be. And if my supervisor sees me, I'm sorry, I was busy. Now you see why. Um, Sierra's having an event. She's giving advice on entrepreneurship to women. It's something that she prides herself in, something I think she's good at. She's got a successful salon, successful spice company,
Seasonings,
successful
yeah.
cookbook. She's got a lot going on. So I think that's good for her to do. Zayn and Ashley come by. I guess this was a scene of Kirk and Rashida part 5. I feel like Zayn, Ashley, Sierra, and Zay, they all give Kirk and Rashida and or what is that other couple? It's just in my head and I'm losing my. They all give Kirk and Rashida or like Yandy and Mendices, kind of like these couples right here.
I would
Because
say Zayn and Ashley get more Yandy Mendices than Kirk or Rashida. If we think of the mom aspects.
The mom aspect, yes, but with everything else, no. Because Zayn be outside more than Stevie J, Young Jock, and Kirk combined. And I don't know what he's doing. He's a little guy, so I'm sure he's getting lost in the crowd. And maybe he just enjoys being surrounded by people. I don't know. But Zayn and Ashley talked to Sierra and Zay, a.k.a. our Onyx Reject, as Shani would call him, about the situation with Salma Slim and 24 Hours. Why? Okay, Zayn, you was just begging 24 last season before we took the little pause. You was just begging 24 to forgive you because he was upset at you for talking to him about what his wife is doing. So why would you then go and talk to two people who are telling you they just got into a physical altercation with him, who's supposed to be a boy? Why would you then go and talk to him about how, yeah, he's just getting mad at whoever tells him about it? Like, be quiet. Zip it. Zayn and Ashley are just like annoying little hobbits that won't stop talking and just talk. They just drive me crazy. They make my teeth itch, y'all. And I do agree with them though, which I hate to say, because 24 Hours is mad at everybody with his wife. Zayn is little. That's a little man. He's lost in the crowd, looking up and around him, just looking up into bitches' draws. Like, you got to watch him. He's little and he's nimble. I don't trust Zayn. That's probably why his skin messed up too, because he just be surrounded. I'm trying to tell y'all. But for some reason, Ashley then brings up, because Sierra doesn't say much on Zay and them anymore, or on Selma and Ashley. She's just like, I said my piece, so I'm done. Okay, go back to your booger sugar and whatever else he put in your drink, Sierra, allegedly. But Ashley then randomly brings up personal marital drama between her stepmom and Zayn's mom. Why are you bringing this up in front of Sierra and Zay? Why would you do that, Ashley? And Zayn's trying to tell her to be quiet. She bringing it up. And then we learned that apparently Sierra and Zay are having the same problems. And Zay has torn up Sierra in his marriage license because he is upset that Sierra did not take his last name. Let me ask every man this. Coming from a woman that has her husband's last name, if that man ain't paying for the marriage license, paying the rent, paying the bill, he don't get to have a say so in the last name. Also, for those who do not know, when you get married, they ask you right in front of your partner what you want to do. I thought about hyphenating it. My husband got mad and said something right there. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am," to the clerk recorder in Alameda County. Why you got me up here and expecting me to pay for this shit, and I'm paying rent and we doing the wild thing and living together, and now you tell a nigga you don't want to take my last name? The lady laughed. I was like, I guess I'm taking Mr. Best's last name. But even though I was 19 and he was 21, he paid the rent on our little studio apartment in the projects. He paid the electric bill, the internet bill, the cable bill. He paid for the bus fare for us to get to the Alameda County Clerk Recorder's office. He paid for the marriage license. I did not know he had been saving to cover it. So I'm going to say this. If the man is not showing you that you are the only woman in his life and will be the final one, do not take his last name. Do not take his last name. I don't understand.
Also, don't take his last name if your name is bigger than his. So that's also another thing that you have to also keep in mind. Like for me, I've also went back and forth with this as well in my own personal life, because I am a man who is going to marry a man. Now, if his last name is bigger, yes, I'm taking the last name Jordan. Sorry, I'm gonna be like Sharice because Sharice still got the last name Jordan.
I
So
cannot.
me and Sharice both gonna be Jackson hyphen Jordans. That's how it's gonna be. I do believe, like, that's why I said I would get mad at Sutton over there on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because ain't no way in the hell I'm dropping that last name. Ain't no way in
Right.
hell. There's no way in hell I'm doing that. Especially if I know what that last name comes with. I'm not doing that. Listen, don't give it to me. Hilton, I am taking it. I'm already a Jackson, so what else is a famous last name that hell, Hampton, I'm taking it. I'm taking any last name that's bigger than mine.
That's a good way to think. But
Yeah.
I also feel like, listen, I would look at him, okay, Ashley, and be like, nigga, you better pay what you owe and what your name weigh if you want me to take that last name. And then it's connected to her child. But we're going to see more with them. Let me catch the comments. Welcome in, Kiwan. Good morning, girl. Good morning. I hope your day going well. I hope you're feeling better too. She says, I'm late to the party. I've been working in addition to meetings. My God. I called out to work today. I should have went. I had an anxiety attack this morning, y'all. I was genuinely stressed because my job requires a lot, and then I had a lot to do, and then there was YouTube. I was panicking, texting James at like 5 something in the morning in shambles. But
And y'all already know how I am. Yes, I did respond back to my best friend and talk about it. Anytime she texts me, I'll respond back. Anytime.
that's actually true. One
Yeah.
of few. Now, trying to tell you, I need somebody to explain this to my little brother, but I'll digress. What did this say? Let me find out Sierra and the Onyx Reject out here hanging out with Derek Howard and them white lines. I think they are. You could just how she's acted this season, something
She's
more
more
than
erratic.
alcohol and weed is
Yeah.
going on.
Like her behavior, like Sierra wasn't really like about it, like erratic like that, unless someone provoked her.
Yeah,
Like that's where I noticed, like when it came, like especially when we first met her, the Mariah chick that was sleeping with her husband, she didn't get mad until she found out the situation. I
she
think
took
the
her
only
time.
time I was gonna say what was with Keely, the girl she had hit in the head with a purse, but I even feel like that was warranted because Keely did some fuck shit behind the scenes. It was hooking up shooter with some girl, so no, it was definitely. Anytime I see Sierra lose her mind like that, it was because of something else. This is a little different. I feel like she's just going out of her way, and it's like that's not like her.
He is real angry, like an Onyx Reject. Tell Bobby, aka Zay, to go to the nearest hill. I'm so sick of him. Like, is having a partner that important that they're useless? You could have not married this man, Sierra, and still been sleeping with him, probably still had him in your house, and at least been able to get rid of him with ease when you was ready.
I mean, damn, okay, for real. Or
We already see how the
wait
last
till you
marriage
get done
kept.
cooking your sausage, eggs, and bacon and grits and shit. Like, I mean, because it's men like him that know what they doing with breakfast food. So
I cannot.
because they got the munchies. So yeah, you know how that is.
Shetty said, if a nigga ain't shit, don't take his last name. That's why my son has my last name. Absolutely. I have a friend named Jasmine that graduated in your year. You know Jasmine, tall Jasmine.
Yeah.
She gave her daughter her last name. She showed it. She showed it, and I can't blame her because that man wasn't there, refused to come during the birth, all sorts of stuff. So she said, okay, San Francisco General Hospital, I was there. They said, so traditionally, the little nurse was explaining how it works with the little hospital admin. And Jasper said, I know what I did, and she's keeping my name. I said, okay, leave her alone. She just said, oh, baby just came. I looked at the nurse. I said, you heard her. You better get to stepping, lady.
Okay, get to writing shit down, take your notes, and go to the computer and put it in.
Yeah, he did her. That made me so mad. I cussed him out. This is the fun fact. The friend did have a baby with my ex, and the ex and me were still cool. And she actually had me call him to try and get him to the hospital. He was like, no, I'm not going. I said, oh, Lord. I said, we should have been on Love and Hip Hop because the way
Y'all
I
sure
cussed him
should have.
out from his rooter to his tutor, the way I cussed him out, child. Exactly, because he's broken. His name has zero weight. It don't have no weight. And then look how he treated her when she had that miscarriage. Like, he was awful. He was awful. So screw
But
him.
let me ask: is Gates her maiden name or is that Shooter's last name?
I have no clue.
Now I'm curious because I'm feeling like I was sitting here thinking I'm like, well, I wonder if Gates is Shooter's last. Does anybody know if like I'm asking the chat? Does anybody know if that's Shooter's last name and that's why maybe he was tripping? Because if it's her maiden name, I don't understand why that would be a big deal. Like to me.
I don't know. I feel like she just needs to focus on getting a post-nuptial agreement, if we're being honest. And shout out to Kiwan for your work. It's hard to work. I know most of the people who are in here are probably here from work. So shout out to y'all. I hope y'all day go easy. And I am not the person. If somebody try you at work, you take it to hell. That's right. Let me see. This Kiwa said, oh my God, please rest. I have 3 hours of PTO until mid-April. I have 10 hours of PTO until May. And then the PTO I get, I'm going to use to go to New Orleans. But you know what?
Oh, it is Shooter's last name.
Oh, it is. That makes sense.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That's her baby daddy. All her kids. Like,
okay, never mind. Yeah, I see why he mad.
Get over it. That's
Get over it, yes.
Now, if she didn't have no kids and was keeping the last name, I would be like, okay, I get that. But if a woman has kids and you remarry a woman with kids and she has the same last name as her kids and her ex-husband, leave her alone and let her be connected to her children if she wants. My mom used my father's last name until she got married. And then, you know, it's funny because my mom had been married a couple times, more than 3. I'm lucky to still be married because my mom has been married more than 3 times. But every time she gets a divorce, she drops the last name of the marriage, because she takes their last name each time, and then she bring back my dad's last name or her dad's last name, depending on how she feel about my dad at the time. Right now, they cool. But
there's a lady at Discover, a customer I had. She had been married 2 times in the 7 years that I kept getting her on the phone, which is so crazy to me. But every time her husband would die, she would go back to husband number 3's last name because his last name was Carson, and in their little town that had a lot of weight. And she told me that she goes,
that makes sense.
She goes, oh no, that last name has a lot of weight. I'm going right back to that last name. I've been married 5 times. I'm going right back to my 3rd husband's last name because I can get into country clubs and everything else.
Not
I said,
get in the country.
she did. That's what she told me. I said, well, God damn.
Zay and Zayn are useless like the G in lasagna. You better let them know, Kiwan. That is the truth. That is the truth. Thank goodness I work from home. Been working from home since the pandemic, so I don't take it there with nobody. I work from home too, but I don't know what I could say on the internet. I work from home too, but I have to do a lot of training of staff sometimes, even though I'm not a supervisor or a trainer. People be calling me for stuff and I be getting annoyed sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Shayna said, I thought it was Shooter's last name, but she has all her businesses are in that last name, so I can understand why. Yes, a hassle. That's the other thing, men. Do you know what it's like to change your last name? Men don't get this. Even though I am married and not divorced and took my husband's last name, I still get calls, stuff in the mail, people looking for me on Facebook, messaging me like, girl, I was looking for the last name Charles. I said, no, that's not, hasn't been that since 2009. It's a hassle to change your name at all. It's a hassle, and it takes years, sometimes decades, to get people to like fully acknowledge the new name. So it's like off the strength of that, it's like, leave me alone.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna always be James Jackson because I love my name. So it's never going anywhere. But in my private life, whoever's name benefits me that I marry, because I think I'm gonna marry into a really big name, I'm going to be that like in my private life. So Amina would know me as both. I'm gonna say it like that.
Yeah, I just be acknowledging people, whatever the hell they want to be called. That's how my brain works, y'all. But the ladies, they have a high tea back in not the Hamptons. I keep wanting to say the doggone Hamptons.
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard. They're having high tea. They all looked really cute. I was okay with everyone's outfits and makeup. They looked good. I like when they look like they have sense. But they talked to Yandy because Yandy's been very aggressive in behavior. They feel it's hard to talk to Yandy about the things she goes through without her basically gaslighting, deflecting, avoiding, or getting angry and aggressive. And they actually came at Yandy appropriately. Spice was like, you guys came and told me my delivery was wrong, so why can't we tell you the same thing? Everybody makes peace. The only thing I'm really going to comment on, because I'm like, wow, they made peace, no fight. Let God exist. But don't ever compare losing a friendship, especially a friendship with Rashida Frost. Don't ever compare that to the grief of losing a parent, Yandy. Especially when you have both of yours still here. I'm just saying, I have not lost a parent. Both of my parents are still here and living and healthy. and I appreciate God for that, and I hope he continues to bless them. I really do. However, I've watched several friends lose parents, and I have seen every friend of mine that has lost a parent or both. I've watched them all change, not in a bad way, but you can tell that there's just like this weight that they have to live with. So I always empathize with them. And I just don't feel like you should compare losing a friendship to the death of a parent or a child. Like, I understand friendships are important. I love my friends to death. I've lost some friendships and have cried and been upset, but I'm not going to compare it to the death of nobody. That's just me. But how did you feel about their high tea? For the whatever it was.
I felt like it was crazy. It was a hot mess. It was, to me, I don't understand why y'all are pressing Yandy about the whole thing with Rashida when it was realistically Kirk that was tripping and that caused the snowball effect. So y'all giving it to the wrong person. Not that I'm on Yandy's side with it or anything. I'm not on either one side because they both are flawed and fucked up human beings, both Rashida and Yandy. But if we really want to put out the snowball effect, it was Kirk that started this. So
it always comes back to the man.
Yeah, it was Kirk that started this. So I'm sorry. I don't think y'all should be pressing Yandy about her friendship with Rashida if y'all not gonna press Rashida about her friendship with Yandy.
That's actually a very good point. But we know that Rashida and Kirk are hiding right now while at the time of filming, they were figuring out the legality situation of their son, often their daughter's boyfriend, who was abusive. I will never let people live that down. Because trust and believe, if a man put his hands on me and I called my dad, a brother, or a cousin, they probably would have done the same thing. You just got to be smart and know when to call. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me catch the comment before we move forward. Shani said 9 out of 10 times I'm talking to the technicians, so thank goodness I'm just asking them questions and don't have to take it to hell. I'm a peaceful woman at home with refreshments. She said with refreshments. Honestly, work from home is chill for that. There are less circumstances. When I worked in person, especially in an office environment in them cubicles, I kept to myself because I used to hear everybody talking about each other. Then you watch them fight about what was talked about. And then, I got the hell out of there as fast as I could. Some of these men barely change their underwear, so I have no clue on name change. Zay. That's who Sister Shani is, or Sister Kiwan is talking about. Mr. Zay do look like he don't shower here and there. He does.
Man, I'm going to tell you like this. As someone who takes a bath and a shower daily, there's no excuse for that. Y'all can find 20 minutes out the day to wash your ass.
My husband knows when he walks in, because he works in public safety. When he walks in, I got the hamper right at the door. You put your shit here. Don't let your shoes come past here. I don't want that in my house. And the bathroom is right there. You go straight to there. I put on the hot water for you. There's soap. No. But he looked like he stank. He do. Isn't she a Sagittarius, Miss Kiwan? I feel like she's a Sagittarius.
I don't remember.
I feel like she's a Sagittarius because didn't she have a birthday not too long ago? I could be wrong though. But I feel like she's a Sagittarius. I know Shayna's a Cancer.
She is a Sagittarius. Yeah, we talked about it because, we talked about it on the live.
Look at God. I can't forget because she got the same. Kiwan is the same sign as my husband. And the way they express themselves seems very similar. Just saying. And if you're in a risk, gentlemen, you can take a whole bath.
No, you can't.
And tails, wash the important parts.
Lord. No, you can't. You listen. Unless you manscape, no, you can't.
Not unless you manscape. I could not. Now, we get to Mama D's birthday party. We're going to meet Jessica's new man, Nathan. I believe they are not together in real time. This is the man we saw her on the internet at Baker Beach getting proposed to. This is the man who I believe she was pregnant by. Unfortunately, we do know in real time she did lose her baby. I know that her relationship has also ended, and I believe someone else passed away in her family. I don't have much to say on Jessica White right now because we just got a second of her, but she's still kooky. She's not drinking, and you can definitely see it because she's more clear-headed. But she says she met this new guy on the Raya app, which is an app for people in the limelight and people with money, child. I've heard of this app because I had a friend try and get on there and she couldn't do it. I said, girl, you ain't got shit. But anywho, I digress. They met on this app. Things have gone well. He was a little off to me, but Jessica's also off. I don't want to judge too much, but Jessica, if you got a man, please don't come on here talking about it's still you. You still hate men. Did you think that we made your personality and who you are and what you've given us on television? Did you think that we just assumed that you hated men? We assumed you hated yourself based on the type of men you dated, not that you hated men. Obviously, you like men if you was willing to share Nick Cannon with 12 other bitches. Just saying. Am I wrong?
No, I'm trying because let me tell you, I'm glad you said it, not because I was thinking that in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking, like, to me, you don't love yourself. I agree with Kiwan's comment. Because yes, because and to me, it actually speaks more volumes because Jessica White just came out on Hollywood Unlocked. They put up a story about her saying that men can't be bisexual, only women can.
Who said that?
Jessica White. She said that men are not allowed to be bisexual, only women can.
Who said that?
Jessica White.
Yeah, but who said what she's saying? To make her say what she said.
I would think she got her own brain and could say it on her own, but she sure did come out and say that, and I said, wow. There
are bisexual men out there, and they, like, I don't know how to explain it. I know that there are actually a lot in the Bay Area. It's quite as kept. But
I know plenty of them too.
Yeah.
And that can do it very well. Actually, better than I can. Yeah.
They're open with it out here, which I respect and love. And you could kind of tell that they are bisexual, in my opinion, just because they don't really lean towards gay, but they also don't lean towards straight. You can usually tell, but Jessica, I don't expect much to come from her, honestly. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is just something about that Jessica chick that I am not feeling. TJ and Stacy are broke Eddie and Mike. In the words of Portia Williams, who said that? Right.
To me, they give more a broke Edie and Mike than they did TJ.
Oh, Britt Edie.
Yeah.
Britt Edie. She is something else. She is something else. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was Jessica's man. Did you want to add anything to?
To me, honestly, Jessica, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like you only wanted to parade this man because you got tired of people looking at you making questionable decisions. But this one looks more questionable than any of the other decisions that you have ever made on national TV. And to me, it's sad because I feel like a man is not what you need. You need, grief counseling and serious mental cleansing.
Shayna said, no, Kiwan got it right. Broke Edie. She's suing everybody right now.
Oh, child, I'm telling you, you can't even say her name. That's why we say broke Edie. Because you can't even say her name. She finna sue you. She finna add you on her list, on the constituents list of the lawsuits. Watch your mouth said this, so I'm about to put it in there. I'm like, girl, if you don't go somewhere, sit down.
When Brittany gave that box of tampons, I said it right there to myself. I said, she broke. Y'all told me I was mean and we should have accepted the donation.
No, this is what I said. This is what I said because it was Shabia taking the shit out the box. Because I said, that's Mrs. Best. Because Mrs. Best, she looked at that box and she said, well, Britt, like, that's because I would have just put the box in the corner. Mrs. Best, like, no, take that shit out that box.
What you got for your Walgreens coupon? They be having Tampax and Playtex Sport on sale. Buy one for $11.99, get the other half off. I feel like that's what she did because it was the perfect amount, and I will never let it go.
Yeah, and it was. Thank you, Shabia, for doing that because that shit was funny. I said, not her taking her shit out her box and showing it to everybody.
If it's small enough. Now, look, Kelly, we knew what it was. It was a pallet full of water, but she brought one box and a Bentley, a drop top. We didn't know what the hell was in there. I'm not mad at Shabia. I don't care for her as a housewife, but I'm not mad at her. Look, Shady said I would have looked through the box too and asked if you got more coming. Absolutely.
That's what Shabia did. Yeah. Because you see, Kelly was going to crash into Shamia's house with that big ass SUV, try to get that water up in there. So you know, she
No,
don't
she was
act.
gonna crash in the
She
Sterling bedroom.
was going to scrape the left side of. We all see how Kelly drove that SUV up in that house and was going to crash into that wall and shit. We all saw it.
She's so small. God
She's so
bless her.
small. I don't know why you got that big ass Escalade like that, girl. You know you can't.
Well,
Anyways,
now we
that's
know she couldn't afford a driver, but I'll digress. Shakira, Mama D, Sierra, and her pet that seems to be walking her, Zay, they all meet and talk, and they're at Mama D's party. And Jasmine, aka Kirk's side chick mistress, baby mama slash Rashida's potential sister wife, comes up. Jasmine, stop putting injections in your lip. We could say whatever we want to say about Jasmine, but she was a pretty girl. And I hope that she stops with the plastic surgery because it's getting too plastic. You look fine, Jasmine, but don't go no further, please. But she comes up and Jasmine's saying hello to everybody and just happy to be on camera without the scandal this season. And she says hello, and Sierra says, "It's my husband." She's like, "Oh, this is the husband. I haven't met him yet." And she looked at the husband, and I was looking, and I said, "Oh, I know you fucking lying." This bald-headed Negro, I seen his eyes looking at her, and I'm a person that pays attention to body language, what people are looking at. I'm looking at stuff outside of just what you're saying. I don't know why I'm that way. I've always been that way. And I'm like, why is he looking her up and down right in front of his wife? And I think Mama D seen it, but it's trying to be less messy because she about to go under the knife. Because if I seen it, Mama D seen it because they were right in front of her. And when they finally introduced Zay and Jasmine, he looks at her and was like, "I could see why Kirk chose you." Nigga, what? Oh, I would have been locked up, arrested for domestic violence. You would have seen Mrs. Best being carried out, hands behind the back. Talk about, "I'll do it again too." And if you come home, you're gonna get knocked upside your head, nigga. I would that'll be the day that I am going to fight my husband. That will be the day that I hit my husband. Don't you ever look at another woman, man, or anything in between and say, "I could see why this other married man cheated on his wife to have a piece of
like,
you."
wait, no,
Nigga,
wait, what? Are you out of your mind? Like, what is you on today? Because that
the
ain't just
bar
where
is low.
it is, Sierra. Like, come on now, you can't be serious. Like, you cannot be serious.
And she tried
Like,
to laugh it off.
she did, but she
try. She was like, "Okay," and then he want to ask her why she. No, that's we're leaving the party. Your Uber's outside. Like, why are you trying to protect him? Why are you trying? I'm Kiwan, Divorce, in all caps and in that order. Banish them from
it would be more. It would be more than that. Like, your shit would be out my house. I'm calling my lawyer right in the car on the car phone, talking about some. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and put together a content of divorcement because my husband has lost his mind. He is over here talking to someone else's mistress, so that means that it could be up and at him for them too as well. So it's time for me to go and bounce. Yeah. But knowing Sierra, she ain't got no damn prenup.
No, Sierra was looking at he did do that in front of Sierra Shanny, so the wife was right there, which is crazy, which is actually crazy. He did do that right in front of her. I don't understand why she tried to smooth it over because you look crazy. And here's the thing. If he will do that in front of you, then what he's doing behind your back is 10 times worse. Jasmine was absolutely right in her response to that. And she kind of gave him a look like, huh? So I'm like, Jasmine, you better stay innocent. Walgreens, they do be having good deals. I love Walgreens. I enter my phone number every time. Digital receipt me, please. But yeah, that was crazy. I said, "Zay, is it your mission to embarrass this woman? Like, what are you doing?" And in Georgia, prenup or not, I believe that's a state where it's illegal to infidelity and stuff like that. So even without a prenup, she still may be okay. But I also have a feeling she don't have as much as he would think because she still got kids and all of this. So I don't know. I'm curious because Sierra always get divorced and we never really learn about her divorces, like the details. So I would be curious. Since you see why another man chose her, then I choose for you not to come back to my home. Period.
Yeah, he couldn't come back home with me. No, there's no way. After you even said that
No.
shit and looking at her and giving her the googly eyes and shit.
That's intentional disrespect.
Right.
And in addition to disrespect, you're dismissing your wife's feelings. Like, no, that's too much.
Because if you could do that with Jasmine, you could do that with somebody else.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. I feel like if you could do that and disrespect me there, you're going to disrespect me with somebody else. It was kind of like...
But I've been thinking this about Zay. It didn't surprise me. I was like, he's going to show some type of shadiness. And I think we talked about that last season with the miscarriage Sierra had and stuff. He's definitely going to slip up further, because if Zay's brother is being accused of talking to Selma and Zay is aware of it, like, I'm sure he's talking or would be interested in talking with somebody on the cast. Zay gives me somebody that would sleep with like an Erica Racine, or like somebody who's on the show but not on the show that nobody really cared for. Whatever can keep him here. But that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. After all of the foolery, Lord help us. Shakira, Erica, Dixon, Imani, and Mama D all talk. I'm happy to see Mama D, Shakira, Erica, and the baby getting along, because in my opinion, they should. They all have to deal with each other to a certain extent. Well, Erica, your child is grown.
She ain't got
You're not needed to be around Scrappy's other baby mamas. Your child can watch his other kids on her own. So I feel like Erica, like, what are you doing? Are you just waiting for Scrappy to get 40 years of being a hoe out of his system? Like, what are you doing? You have no reason to be connected to this. Either join the show and be a friend to Rashida like you was back in the day, or can you wait for Scrappy off camera? Because it's weird.
I'd much rather her wait for Scrappy off camera, because y'all know I don't like Erica. So yeah.
I was an Erica Dixon fan in earlier seasons, but I'm not a fan of her anymore, because you did all that complaining. You left him. You had babies with somebody else. You've done all of these things. We thought you moved on just for you to run behind him, trying to date him, fresh out of a marriage. Like, you didn't even wait for the ink to dry. Like, I didn't understand it. But she's talking with Shakira and the baby mama in front of Imani. And Shakira basically exposes all the things that all of us knew about Scrappy, and anybody who watches television knew about Scrappy, which is that he ain't shit. Scrappy is one of those dads that will give you good dick, that may be nice to you when you're with him, and that may look to be a present father if you are actively in a relationship with him and he is in the house. But the moment you are not with him, or the moment that something he wants to do comes up, he forgets about his duties as a husband, a father, a boyfriend, a pastor's son. He forgets everything and goes kooky. So Shakira is complaining about things everybody knew. She says Scrappy doesn't pick up the baby. She says she tried to get him to commit to 1 hour a week with his child. An hour? Why did you set the bar so low? If I have a kid, I don't care if the dad is a bumfuck. Just so that I could say to my child, I did everything I could to have your daddy around, I'd offer you an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. You got to come more. I would be on his ass to be around the baby. Like, I don't understand why she's just okay with that. And I'm thinking in my head, Shakira, Scrappy don't do babies. He'll come around again
when the baby gets older.
Walk, probably brush their teeth on their own, make themselves a meal in the microwave. They're potty trained. Scrappy's not interested in that. He's just making kids make kids. He's irresponsible. And for you to expect a man to step up and be a great father when you got the nigga right after he busted a nut in your friend is crazy. Just saying. So I'm looking at Shakira like, while what you're saying, I would feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her at all. You knew what you were getting. You touted to us about how you did not need his money and how you had your own businesses just for you to beg him to get you a house in Atlanta. Now you mad at him for not coming to the house, saying he be trying to fuck you, but you still be feeding him. I say he couldn't keep your child for an hour and you still made him a food. Okay, I'm taking my baby back, but you can go. You're not getting a plate of nothing. You don't even need to come in. Hand me the car seat and the diaper bag. Like, what are we
ladies doing? Y'all hear what Mrs. Best said? Tell your baby daddies, hand me the car seat and the diaper bag. I will fill it up. No, actually, you should have your own shit, your own diapers, your own wipes, and
just
your
hand
own.
Me the car seat.
Just hand me the car seat,
or even the baby. If I open the door and you're like this with a child, fine. Hand me the baby.
Hand me the baby.
step foot in my house and expect to get a plate of food that I just cooked that I couldn't even finish cooking because you couldn't
Not a
keep
kitchen
my legs.
closed. The kitchen closed. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
the kitchen and my legs is closed. But Shakira
Okay, for
complaining.
real.
She's complaining about it all. And I'm just like, why are you talking about this in front of Imani? Like, I understand that she's grown, but she's not grown to that extent. I'm not going to talk about my baby daddy in front of his child, but I get it. I don't know. You want to add anything to them? They
No, I
talk.
don't want to add to anything because to me it's ridiculous to see this like year and year and years later. Like to me, I feel like once again, what are we even talking about? What is there to talk about? Erica, you shouldn't have been there. Neither should Emma. Neither. Listen, Mama D. None of these baby mamas really should be here. At the end of the day, none of them should be here. The only person that should have a relationship with them is Scrappy, and then you should be encouraging him to have a better relationship or a friendship with them because they have a child that they have to raise for 18 years, and including Bambi, the ex-wife.
I hate to see how Scrappy's life goes once he doesn't have this show, because aside from tours similar to like millennial tours and throwbacks, he's still performing that same song. If you could get crunk in the club, like he's still performing the same 3 songs. So I'm just curious to see what happens with him after Love and Hip Hop, because I feel like he behaves like this in part because he knows it keeps him on the show. But I don't know, Scrappy, grow up. It's not cute. I'm over it. But good for you, Mama D, for not causing beef. Now, the next scene is Zayn and Ashley. They go out to eat together. He's so little, his feet didn't even touch the ground when he was sitting at that table. I'm like, Zayn is short. My husband is short as well, but Lord, his feet could touch the ground. Zayn's feet was just up there wiggling.
How tall is Zayn? How tall is he?
I don't know, and he'll never tell us. I'm telling y'all, he's hiding in the crowd, looking up skirts. That's what he gives. But Zayn and Ashley discuss the last names again. Now, Ashley makes a mistake, which felt like she did for the show. She pulls out paperwork and she's like, you were right. I want to honor my husband. And she makes it seem like she's changing her last name to whatever his last name is. But then after she says that, she's like, but I'm hyphenating. So she wants to hyphenate her current last name with Zayn's last name, which what most people would call, with sense in a marriage, is called compromise. A lot of women hyphenate because they're compromising with their partners. So, but you should have led with that, baby. Ashley, you should have led with that, not made him think he was getting his way. So Zayn gets mad and he starts to talking about tattoos. He's like, yeah, you still got this nigga's name tattooed on you. And she's like, as did you. He was like, some lips in the name ain't the same. I said, you just got mad at her about a name tattooed on her. But then when she say you got them too, you say lips in the name don't matter, but she got a name on her. So it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. So then when that argument don't work, she says, you're doing too much, saying you could have contested this at the wedding. I said, yes. You also probably should have led with that, Ashley. And he gets up, he leaves the table, and he was like, yeah, I'm outside. And I hollered because she was like, you're always outside. Another reason why the bitch don't want your last name. If your response to your wife not wanting your last name is to threaten her with cheating by saying, I'm outside, Ashley, you need to be outside too, baby, negotiating with locksmiths to change them locks on that house. You need to be outside finding an attorney that you can file for divorce with, or a consultation, something. You need to be outside doing that. He threw plastic surgery in her face, threw tattoos in her face, and she's explaining, I'm connected with my child. Like, she was even like, am I going to call my son? And you explain to him, I'm not going to say I have the same last name as him. He was like, you could call God. Why don't you call God? Because he don't like what you're doing either. So I'm tired of Zayn and Ashley. I can't do the toxic arguments. It's not fun anymore. Come up with something different, Love and Hip Hop. I think these two think that they're like Stevie J and Jocelyn when they pretended to be married, or I don't know what Zayn and Ashley are doing, but how you felt about their little scene? That nigga tripping.
He was tripping. And I do agree with you. I feel like she should have led with, wanting a compromise in the marriage because that would have made sense. However, I never understood because you know who else did this? Tina Knowles did this, where she kept the last name Knowles and hyphenated and took Lawson. And I was like, why is your name Tina Knowles Lawson? Why do you have both of these men's last names? I
I
never
know it's
understood it.
because
I,
her children all have the last name Knowles, and she was a Knowles for much of her adult life. Like,
right.
men don't understand the effort that goes into that. So I wouldn't have dropped it either. And then I've learned also from my mom and family members, when you hyphenate and you get your divorce, is really easy to change the last name. It's easier if you're just dropping part of your hyphen, is much easier. So I mean, hey.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying I don't understand. Like, for me, it would be different if she had her maiden name and then like did the
That's what Ashley's whole argument is. It's
Oh, I
not
thought it
about
was to keep her first husband's last name and then add
she
Zane's.
said the whole episode and was in tears. That's why she mentioned calling the son. I just explained it, that she wants to connect with her child. She said, my first kid, I didn't have a last name with her. I gave her her dad's last name. My second child that was with her husband, that was really important to her, she says, to have the same last name as her child. If all of your kids have a last name, or if you want to have a last name with your kid, and that's your reason for not changing it, fine. But I'm pretty sure they discussed this when they got married. He had
No,
to
I
sit
know they did. Yeah.
and watch her. But regardless of maiden name, a lot of women keep their last name because it's difficult. And that's just something that men need to shut the fuck up about and accept. Because when a woman marries a man, we have to change last names. We got to carry babies. We basically take it on the job as a maid. We have to do all of this stuff. It's a lot to change a name. Zane, who cares? But he would be more secure if he was actually a good man. If he wasn't in the streets, he probably wouldn't feel no ways about it. But the only way to know that she's connected and not one foot out the door is probably if she has his last name. But no, nobody. And I feel like Tina Knowles only did that because of her daughter is more famous than
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have changed it. I just have been Tina
the
Knowles.
men.
That's what
But
I would have
Richard
never.
Lawson's also pretty fucking famous. So I feel
No,
like
he is. No,
he
he
probably was like,
is.
let me just keep both of them now.
Yeah, like no, he is. But I still probably because I don't see Kris Jenner changing her name
No,
when she
she's
married
not
it.
going to.
Yeah, I don't
She's
see
not
her.
going to. When she changed her name, it was when she got married. And I feel like that's how it should be. If you're married to somebody for more than 10 years and you want to keep their last name, you've earned it. Keep it. And if they
I
don't like
agree.
it, hey, they'll end up like Zane in the streets.
No, I agree. If you had, that's why I said I'm mad at Sutton for wanting to change. I was like, I ain't changing shit.
She says, shut up, twin. You're not gonna say he's sitting there dangling his feet. His
He
feet, they were
was.
literally doing that.
They
I
were. They
mean,
were dangling, and then
especially when she got to telling him she want to hyphenate, they really was looked like he was on an exercise bike. They was moving so fast. Did she sound like the character from South Park? Don't fuck with Wendy Testenberg.
oh
You know what?
Lord,
She kind of does. Ashley's voice is awful.
it
The
is. It's
fact that the
terrible.
name change is an issue after all this time isn't the reason. Benjamin Buttons is out there cheating. Yeah, I want to see who he cheating with.
I don't think it's an issue either. I think that's just something that they needed. Like
Storyline.
it was like one of many arguments, and they just pulled from the pot. Oh, the last name thing. That's what will be our storyline this season because it doesn't make sense.
It sure doesn't, and it does give storyline. I'm glad you brought that up because I was like, this doesn't make sense. Y'all been married for years. If anyone knows how marriage works, it just doesn't make sense. Zayn and Ashley, to me, are doing whatever they can to stay on TV. Last season, it was plastic surgery. The season for that, it was him coming in the house. Then they were separated. I'm like, it's always something. It's always something. And it seems like when they can't think of nothing else, then they're going to have their mamas come on stream. But I think Zayn's mama stay away from Ashley's people going forward. The only last thing that happened I'm not really going to talk about is the episode's ending with Carly Red wanting the ladies to throw some shit in the ocean and take a waiting to exhale photo. There were no BBLs and lip injections and waiting to exhale's photos. I would also like to encourage people to understand that in waiting to exhale, I love that movie. I still have the cassette of the soundtrack. It's kind of sad, but Each character went through some stuff, but not to the level of ignorance that these women who took that picture went through. I said, Carly, huh? And I was cracking up at them playing Count on Me and then stopping it over and over. And it is a cute photo concept, but
No, it is, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're ending the episode on positivity before MTV comes back next week and takes it to hell. Carly messy, Spice is messy, Rennie's messy, Salma's a messy liar. Somebody's coming back, and there's going to be some type of beef to come from this trip. Do you feel the same, or do you feel different?
It wouldn't be Love and Hip Hop if they didn't. Like, it wouldn't be Love and Hip Hop, and my money's on Yandy.
Yep. And I feel like once Rashida's introduced back to the group a little more, which I feel like will happen, that's going to change the dynamic, because Rashida just brings toxicity. You know, misery love company, and she always got to have some company around her. But that was really it, you guys, for this review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I do appreciate all of you guys for being in the live. It does mean a lot. I do hope that everyone considers subscribing to myself and James's joint channel. It is called the Watch Your Best Friends channel, spelled best the same way you would here on my channel, B3ST. We have 37 subscribers. We appreciate it, and we're trying to grow our new little channel. We'll be back live likely on, because I have something Saturday night. So probably on Sunday, we will be back live on the Watch Your Best Friends channel. We were going to go live on Friday, but I will be watching Kiwan JTV's live. She has a Life Unscripted live. I encourage, if you want uplifting positivity and a lot of relatability for just the things we go through as women and adults, definitely check in with Kiwan JTV. She will have her live on the 13th, which is Friday. And she has the Black Girls Den podcast, as well as her cousin Courtney joining as well. So let's support each other. Also subscribe to Shayna_MCD. Her information's in the description of this video. She does a lot of own shows, as well as a variety of other shows, and does a lot of panels and interviews. My next live, when is my next live? What do I have
It'll
next?
be Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I never remember. My next live will be Housewives of Beverly Hills. My next video posted will be for Dirty Rotten Scandals on E. It won't be the longest video because it's on the Tyra Banks stuff again, so I can only discuss that so much. But y'all, tap in, support a Black creator. Everybody's working hard on YouTube. I love all of y'all. Y'all my little YouTube friends. James, I hope you have a good day. I appreciate you for being here at the Ass Crack of Dawn.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Indeed, y'all. But y'all have a good, is it Wednesday or Tuesday? What day is
Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Yes.
Happy day. What is this before I go? Did y'all see that Royce went off on Dwight again?
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm not talking about this no more. I'm just not. Because
I did.
I saw it, but it's like at the same time. I saw the Carlos King interview. Listen, your child is grown. I didn't know Royce's child was grown. So now that I know that he is 18, ma'am, move on. But at the end of the day, I would be running, or I would be messy and put out my own shit. Lifetime, y'all want a good movie title? I got it for you. And then file your paperwork and be ready for him in California, so that way he has no choice but to come to California in court, because he got Atlanta as district attorney sold up,
which is crazy. Is crazy. Can all the men that's dating with him, can y'all just expose him? That'll nip everything right in the bud. That's what we're waiting for. He can't sue all of you. Let's all come at them at once. Where y'all at? But y'all, that is it. Kiwan said when. I'm assuming the going off. Look, at the end of the day will end. It will. But these people going off on each other. We will see more of what happens with Dwight Howard's drama, y'all. Maybe James will get out an updates if anything more prevalent happens.
Yeah, I need something to look, because him filing for divorce, I know that everyone's like a big, ooh, no, that wasn't an ooh to me. I actually figured he would.
Oh, we all did. If you look at the comments, everybody's not surprised. Nobody's surprised at that. This is what he do.
This is what he do. I need something. I need some concrete. I need, as Mrs. Beth said, I need a man to come out from nowhere and tell all.
Plenty of them, because I know there's
Tasha
20
K,
of
why
them.
Tasha, why you ain't picked up on this yet? Usually you on top of it.
She's trying to do her GoFundMe to pay off Cardi B. That's another topic that Lord, because Tasha, I'm not paying off nobody's judgment. But you know what, or James, don't forget, we do have more information on Wendy and Eddie. Yeah, their trial has started, I believe. So there's been a lot.
I'm waiting to the very end. I told you guys, I am not going to speak on them until I have a verdict, because this is tricky. Y'all understand, law is tricky. And you don't speak on things until you know the final result. Because I could speak on things, give my opinion, and then a whole different outcome could happen. So you always wait until they have an actual verdict, and either sentencing or not guilty verdict has been happened. That's usually what I'm waiting on. So I know more information's come out, but I have to treat it until I see the actual court case.
That's fair. I think that's the best thing to do, and it protects you legally.
Yes.
But y'all, that is it. Be on the lookout for things from our channel as well as our joint channel. Other than that, love and light to everybody, Thug Life. Shout out to the replay gang. Y'all matter too. And I'll see you guys on our next live. Adios.
Adios.